Guess who's back with some coffee? Me. Hey everyone, it's Laynie and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm so glad that you're here. If you're returning to my channel, oh my goodness, thank you so much. My hair is just kind of doing what it wants today. It's kind of driving me crazy, but you know, whatever. Anyways, I'm really excited for today's video because we're going to be doing an all-day wear test of a brand new product. The that is a tongue twister. Shiseido Synchro Skin Radiant Lifting Foundation. I did receive this in Influenster, which, oh my goodness, I'm so excited about, and I'm so thankful that I was selected to try out this foundation. This is brand new by the company. It just launched on Sephora, and I'm sure their website as well. But oh my goodness, I can't wait to wear it all day for you guys because I have some thoughts on this foundation. So if you want to see me test out the foundation and the primer, then just keep watching. If you haven't clicked the subscribe button, go ahead and click the subscribe button, join the Lash Fam. You will not regret it. And yes, so I was sent this in Influenster, which I'm just like, oh, every time I get selected for a free product, I'm like, oh my god, is this real life? I don't know, it's the little things. It's just like, oh my gosh, I get to try out a new foundation and I don't have to buy it. This is unreal. So like I said, this is their Synchro Skin Radiant Lifting Foundation. They already had another foundation as far as I am aware of, but I believe this one is supposed to be a little bit more radiant, like it says. It says, introducing our newest foundation in the Synchro Skin Collection. It features light adjusting technology. This weightless formula adapts to any ambient lighting condition for a flawless, lit from within finish that lasts all day. 24-hour hydration, luminosity, and visible lift. Adapts to lighting, minimizing shadows and imperfections. Medium to full radiant coverage, available in 30 shades. That all sounds fantastic, so let's get the hair that won't cooperate out of the way. They did send me this primer to try as well. This is their Synchro Skin Soft Blurring Primer, so I am going to put that on for you. I have worn this a couple days to work, so I do have some preconceived notions. I tried the foundation with the primer one day and then without the primer the next day. Honestly, it looks beautiful both ways. I cannot lie. I'm really excited for you guys to see this because this is my first high-end foundation application in a while. I've really kind of went back to drugstore because I kind of fell out of love with a lot of high-end foundations due to their price tag and the fact that a lot of drugstore foundations were applying and wearing just as well for me. So I'm excited to dive on into a high-end foundation that I actually enjoyed. I do want to tell you guys the price before I forget. If I could learn to spell Sheseido, that would help. I'm definitely not spelling this right. This foundation is $47, so definitely not cheap. Definitely not the highest high-end foundation I've ever seen, but it ain't cheap. I'll be real with you guys. It is not cheap. And this primer is $36. So here's where I'm going to be real with you guys. I don't think you need this. I love this very cheap blurring primer from CVS, the Joa brand. So there are really good affordable primers out there if you're on a budget and it's like one or the other. Just being real with you guys, like I'm appreciative that I was sent it, that I get to test it out. I'll use it with some other foundations for fun, but you don't need it. And I was so proud of myself, I actually picked the correct color, which color matching is not really my thing. I usually do a terrible job at picking out my color match. This is in 160 shell and I feel like it matches me really, really well, which is real exciting. I have been applying like all my foundations with a brush, so that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to apply it how I would any other foundation. Now, one thing I think is cool about this, there's a lock feature here, so the top actually swivels, unlocks, locks it. I love that. It's going to keep the product from drying out. It's going to keep it from leaking if you're traveling, or even if you're like me and you store your foundations on their side because your drawers are real shallow. I really like that lock feature. So I'm going to go in with just one pump at first. We'll see how far that gets us. I'm so excited that I picked the right color. So I have found the coverage to be really, really nice. I'm going to do one side at a time so we can kind of compare my natural side to my covered side. I feel like one pump goes really far. I definitely feel like this is one you could build up to make very full coverage if you need to, or if you're just a full coverage queen and you love that really, really heavy duty coverage. I actually, the older I get, the more I love a medium full. Like, I don't have to have that full coverage. I want coverage. Please correct me, but I don't need it to be heavy, heavy coverage. So that was one pump, and honestly, I'm very happy with where I'm at. I don't think I'm going to need more on this side. So that is the coverage. One pump. Like, look at that difference. Hello. Yes, I do appreciate that. I want to bring you in even closer. We're going to get real personal here. I want you guys to really see what that looks like. As you can see, I have some acne scarring from back in my younger days. I have large pores. I feel like my pores look really good, but like I said, I have worn this without primer and I still feel like it looks really good. I don't feel like the primer is a necessity. I'm sure it does help blur them out a little bit. So a little bit of brush marks here on my chin, but honestly, I find once I apply my other products, they really just kind of go away. I'm sure this one would also be pretty with a sponge, but I just haven't been feeling sponge life lately. I feel like the description is really correct, and it really does adapt to lighting, minimize shadows. I said that weird. Imperfections. I don't know. I'm really happy with this foundation, but I want you guys to see me wear it all day so you can really see what it looks like once it's lived in. Let's get the other side done. Again, just doing one pump. If you had dry skin, I really feel like this would be beautiful to not even set at all. But this color match, if you're similar to me, I feel like is really, really good. I'm really impressed with it. I am going to go in with my usual products over top, just so you can see how everything plays together. This is the Hard Candy Concealer. It's a little light, just be prepared. I went a little too light with it, but hey. I like to drag it out with this smaller brush because I can really get around the eye and eyeshadow. Really blend it into that foundation. And then, because it's so light, right? I know. I'm going to go back over top with the brush I used for my foundation and just kind of blend the two together, because I like a bright under eye, but then there's a point where you're like, oh girl, that is too bright. I have been setting with my Peach Perfect powder. I just prefer to set all over since I lean oily. This time of year it's not too bad, but I feel like it helps my other products kind of blend over top easier. I know things are going to stay put. I'm not going to use any radiant powders today, so that way it doesn't add to the radiance. We can just see what this foundation does on its own. Do you ever use a contour powder and realize I'm going to have this for like the rest of my life because such a little bit goes a long way? That's where I'm at with this one. For my blush today, since I did a warmer eye, I think I'll do one of the Alamar blushes. I'm not even going to use highlighter today. I really don't want to add radiance to this look. Before mascara, I am going to set the face. I always set my face with just a little bit of spray, just to help melt that powder into the skin a bit. I just started using this pretty fresh hyaluronic acid setting mist. I haven't used it with this one, so I might be living life on the edge right now, but I'm hopeful it'll be okay, because this one I find doesn't really add any type of radiance to the skin. It's not really a dewy spray. And then I always push my spray into my skin with this Tarte sponge that I'm obsessed with. I don't use it for anything besides this right here, but I love it. Alright. This hair that doesn't want to, why does this strand over here? Let's put this one behind the ear because this side is not cooperating. I am so impressed with this foundation, and I kind of hate to say it because it's not cheap, but I will wear this all day so you guys can see what it looks like. But I love this foundation. if you are looking for a foundation with coverage, that's smoothing, that just makes your skin look really nice, if you are on the mature age range, I think you would love this foundation. Like, I think this is one that would work for young women, older women. Like, it's just a beautiful foundation, and I can't wait for you guys to see how it wears. But I just, like, there's just something about the way my skin glows when I'm wearing this, and I'm like, ooh, I feel good, you know? But yes, so I will check back in with you guys a little bit later so you can see how this wore throughout the day. Okay, howdy y'all. It is now really late. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I went on a total rampage and just started deep cleaning all of my makeup and getting everything sanitized because nesting, that's why. But so that's why if I'm looking a little disheveled, that's because it's 1 o'clock in the morning and I really need to go to bed. But I still wanted to do my check-in, and I didn't want to forget to show you guys. This is going to be raw and real. I have not powdered, corrected anything throughout the day. I didn't do anything crazy like, you know, run a marathon or anything, but I've been cleaning around the house. I took a nap. I do sleep with a satin pillow, which I feel like kind of helps my makeup not come off as much. I wore a mask, so I kind of did all the stuff today. So this is going to be a real wear test. Oh, there we go. Okay, close up and personal. You guys, I'm obsessed with this foundation. I feel like it has stayed on so well. It did rub off the chin a little bit. I am sure that is from the mask. I slept on this side, and honestly, like, this is still really intact. I feel like my skin still has like a nice, pretty glow to it, but I'm not greasy at all. Now it is winter time, so that really helps with that. In the summer, that might be a little bit different. It is not caught up in any of my creases around here. It really hasn't caked up around the nose. That can be a problem area. I've got a little tiny bit of creasing around the eye, but is that the foundation? Is it the concealer? Who knows? It hasn't really gathered up in my forehead expression lines. Like, I love this foundation. This is one of the only high-end foundations I've used in a long time that I really enjoy, that I actually see some difference in. Could you totally rock a drugstore foundation and get similar effects? Yes, of course. What does that mean? Why is it blinking? I don't know what that means. So I don't know what's going on with my camera, but anyways, I seriously love this foundation. I'm really impressed. I don't think you need the primer, but I just love the finish. I love the way it wears. I love the way it makes my skin look. I love the way it feels. This is actually a decent high-end foundation. I'm really impressed, and I'm so thankful to Influenster and Sheseido, I wish I could say that, for sending it to me. I hope you guys enjoyed this wear test. It was so fun to put together for you. It's been a while since I've done one. And as always, please try to stay positive, because at the end of the day, that is truly all we can try to do. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.